Hi, Alan SoCal, and I'm reviewing the NEEWER NW600 model flash. They call it a Speedlite, and most important specification would be the guide number, which for this flash is 40. So it's got a guide number of 40, and I'm sure if you're looking at this video, you know that guide number equals the aperture times the distance in feet, which would yield a correct exposure if you're using the flash. It relates to the strength of the flash and the distance the flash can be at full power from your subject, given a fixed aperture. So all of these things point toward manual setups, and having been involved in photography since high school, the cameras that I started with were all manually set. Okay, so I've got the NEEWER flash on my Pentax, and you can see it's on the hot shoe. I'm going to turn the camera on, and I'll show you on the back side of the flash. Right here's your on-off. And the minute I do that, of course, the flash is going to start charging. I have a choice. You have a choice of power levels, and they're shown in fractional amounts starting with power of 1 or 100%. And you turn this dial right here. And let me bring the camera in a bit for this. As I turn the dial, you can see that I increase, again manually, the level of flash power. And then it goes all the way through the power cycle back to the beginning, which is full power. If I want to do a test flash, of course, that illuminated button, as you're probably very familiar, is the button to hit. A long hold on this will initiate a manual flash. And the interesting thing about this flash, it's very basic, very simple, but it's got a couple of nice little features. One of them would be the little diffuser in the front. You just pull it out, it drops down. It's a textured clear plastic, and of course that provides a diffused flash. And there, because I'm on the hot shoe, you can see that everything works just fine. A manual flash, for me, because this now, after many, many years, this is more an avocation and a hobby, and I do augment some of my my business activities with photography. But as far as my tools of the trade, obviously if I've got this for my DSLR, you know that I'm not asking much of my equipment. But for this flash, it gives me the manual creative power that I want. I usually have the time to set up my shots, and therefore simply having an adjustable flash is just fine. I know the guide number is not exceedingly high, although they indicate it is in the vendor's page. To me, a guide number of 40 is sort of a nominal strength flash, but I guess everything is relative. I think it's a great small flash. I like the fact that it's manual. I wasn't interested in going automatic. I set my camera for manual, and that way I've got control over my aperture and my exposure speed, the shutter speed, and I can do my stop motions. I can do a blend between using this as somewhat of a fill flash along with my ambient light and getting the effects that I want. Something that, yes, you could do with an automatic flash, but when you're in a budget area of $50 to $60, you know, you're not looking for a fully automatic unit typically. So this fills that void, and in my case it literally fills a need that I've got for just a manual flash. Compatibility, I found that this will not only fit on this DSLR, but it'll even work on my mirrorless Sony camera, which I do use for my videos. Everything else in here was pretty straightforward. There is a PC access for triggering this flash. You basically pull this cover right here, and on the side of the camera and the side of the flash, you can see the PC connection here, and then the PC connection up on the flash. Certainly, if you're using this as a triggering flash, you'll have slave units, although this can also work as a slave. It's got I would say, too, the book that NEEWER provides, the user manual, is pretty good. I think there were, in English, I have to get my reading glasses, there were seven pages of user assistance here in the manual. So you've got 7 pages. It's well illustrated, gives you every bit of info you need. It comes with a nice fabric satchel if you're going to store the flash, and it's even got a little plastic bag. You can use this like a cold shoe, but it provides sort of a tripod mount, but at a table level, or whatever level you put it on. That's about it. I noticed that there are some competitive private label and similar, very, very similar design flashes based on this design. And they're all in that same pricing area, and you can look on Amazon and certainly see comparables. I think it's a good flash. It's definitely fitting the bill for what I need, and it basically does everything it purports to do on the vendor page.